Oh, wrong way. Hey, there you are. Oh, man, it's good to see you. God bless you. Welcome. Blessings. Happy day to you. Saturday. What a great day today. Sun shining. Got done spending some time with my good friend, my good brother, Evan. Oh, man, what a day. What a great day. Hey, I'm on here not to tell you that I'm having a great day, but I'm on here to encourage you, to inspire you, to allow you to run free with what we need to do, and that's be inspired, right? Be encouraged, be hopeful. I get so excited to talk about these things with you guys. I get a little out of sorts, if you will. And yesterday I had an epiphany, if you will. We're gonna find that sometimes life, whether good or bad in our experience, right, we're gonna find that in those times the lessons that we come up against are gonna be profound. And yesterday there was a time in my day yesterday that allowed me a lot of reflection into grieving. I've been grieving a lot lately, and it's been really tough. And yesterday I had a session or a moment, if you will, where we had to go pick up our dog, Zoe, and we had to bring her to the cremation center. And that was really, really, really difficult for me. Not only was I unable to get through it, I had to have my wife had to drop me off at home after we picked her up, because I couldn't control myself. I just was very eager to be emotional, if you will, because this trauma has affected me in some pretty tough ways. I myself have been really surprised at some of the things that I myself have done in these moments, just because I've been, emotionally loose and emotionally impacted by this loss. And so we're about a week and a day out now from the loss of my best friend, and I've got to say that it has been more difficult in the moments that I've been going through it, and the times that I'm not, I'm emotionally regulated and I'm okay, I'm centered and I'm present in the moment, that those feelings are far and few between. But when they're here, it's really difficult to manage. And so I have been learning in my therapy as of late, my trauma therapy, my EMDR therapy, that I'm trying to develop a new way, a new base, if you will, a new default, a new baseline. And when we attach ourselves to the trauma of yesterday or the day before, what we're doing is we're stalling out our growth. We're pausing. We're hitting time out. We have to unattach from that trauma, and we have to do it in such a way that is going to allow us absolute and extreme insight into triggers us, but heals us, and everything in between. If there is a way for us to find a solution in the problems or in the trauma, right, in the issues, and in the ups and downs, the slips, the trips, if there's a way to find a solution in that, then on the backside and in the hindsight after a problem, or then through the problem and we've found the solution, then we have to remember that we don't have to go through that again. We might, and the trauma is still going to be there, but once we're healed from the trauma, and once we've moved on and we've gotten ourselves reestablished with a new baseline, and that we are not telling ourselves that that you're worthless, or those types of emotions and trauma that will make us sometimes feel less than, right? Unworthy, unloved, not lovable, unlovable, that sort of thing. So we are lovable, and we are worthy, and we are worth every breath that we take. Otherwise we wouldn't be here taking those breaths that we take. So when I circle back to what I was saying, was we can find the solutions that we get in the problems that exist in today don't have to plague us again tomorrow. We just have to find a new way, a new baseline, a new default in getting ourselves away from that trauma. Trauma is hard stuff. This is all my personal opinion. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a professional, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a counselor, I'm not licensed, I'm not any of those things. I'm not certified to tell you any of this. But I am approved through experience and through wisdom and knowledge of what it takes to win and lose in recovery, in sobriety, okay, in this everyday one at a day time program. Amen. So I'm here to tell you guys that if we choose to succeed today, it is up to us. We can have the fortitude and the gumption and the go and the motivation and all that But if we pick up a drink or a drug today, that is all going to go away. Because once we're intoxicated, we have to kind of start over. We have to let our mind and our body and our spirit reset. And it's going to take a while, depending on what kind of chemical or substance you took. Because alcohol, now that can stay in your system for quite a while, but you're only inebriated or drunk for a little while, and then it takes a while. You might have to go to sleep. You might have to get something to eat. But usually sleep is what's going to reset you and allow you to start over. So that's why we think about this as a one day at a time program, because what happens, you guys, is once you had a bad day, that day is going to get reset when you get home and you put the day to conclusion and you put it to bed, right? And you start over the next day. When you wake up that next morning, you don't want to carry yesterday's problems into tomorrow, because that drink, that problem, whatever happened, is going to roll into tomorrow. And so I just wish you guys all the best. I want you guys to know that it does take a lot of dedication to stay sober, and it isn't for the faint of heart. It's easy to pick up a drink. It's easy to pick up a drug. It's easy to do those things, and I'm just not willing to do it anymore. I want to go the hard way. I want the hard way, because the hard way of staying sober is going to eventually lead into a more stable, more successful, and a more fruitful life. Amen. So as I'm just getting home now, I went and had a fire with my friend Evan, and he's my mentor, one of my mentors, and he's my friend. And I have mentors like that in my life. Not very many. I have one or two in my life that are willing to spend time with me. And it's a back and forth. It's a we feed each other type of thing, because we're both in the spiritual program, wanting to stay away from the things that are going to harm us. And now that could be all kinds of things. But for me in my life, it was alcohol, drugs, bad behavior. I was in a cycle. Of bad behavior, perpetual. Just most of my bad behavior came from needing to support a drug habit, right? Or I don't think I would be doing half the stuff I was doing in my life if I hadn't been addicted to drugs or alcohol. And I've been sober now for 13 and a half years from drugs and 5.5 years from alcohol, but I was addicted to those things for a long period of time, 20 years in fact, 20 plus years. So my life has been ultimately changed by the choices that I made yesterday, but I have to continue to make them same choices, right? Consistently and rightfully so. Because if we don't make them consistently and we're all over the place, we're going to have bad days, and those bad days could turn into 2, turn into 4, 8, 8, 12, 8. Well, it multiplies, right? So we don't want to do that. So we start off today thinking, knowing, and feeling in your heart that you can do this. You're present. Stay present. You're loved. You're worthy. You're capable. You're lovable. You're trustworthy. You can do this. I can do this. We can do this. I have the utmost faith that we will be able to do this. And until I see you again, please stay warm out there. It's about 10 degrees here in Minnesota. I just wish you all the best, and I love you guys. God bless.